Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. Delhi High Court Bar Association has expressed its concern over the frequent transfers of judges in the Delhi High Court, noting that the trend may affect the morale of lawyers and reduce public confidence in the judicial system. Now, this is a very, very serious problem about which a letter has been addressed to the Chief Justice of India and also members of the collegium. The association has pointed out that nearly one-third of the current bench consists of judges from other states. While welcoming the judges from across the country for the diversity they bring, the bar has said that the experienced lawyers foment transfers may also create a gap between the judiciary and the everyday realities of litigants in New Delhi. Judges who rise from the local bar, it noted, carry with them valuable knowledge of the city's legal and social environment, which helps ensure stability and trust in the court's functioning. Now, this is what has been written in the letter. But a bigger point of angst, if I may call it, is the fact that repeatedly the concerns of the bar associations have been not taken into consideration when it comes to judicial transfers and elevations and promotions of judges. It has warned that the absence of such consultation may affect the morale of the legal fraternity and weakens confidence in the system. So this is one bit of what's happening within the four walls of the judiciary. Then there has been another very disturbing case of a district judge who pressured a woman to drop the rape case. Now, this is a case which has come in light after the records of the full court meeting of August 28th came to light, and this is regarding the suspension of District Judge Sanjeev Kumar Singh and the decision to initiate proceedings against both Singh and another judge whose name is Anil Kumar was sparked by complaints of grave judicial misconduct that the woman complainant made before the High Court's Chief Justice. Now, what she has said, the Delhi High Court has suspended a district judge and recommended disciplinary proceedings against him and another judge after receiving a complaint from a woman lawyer who accused the two of coercing her to withdraw rape allegations against a Delhi-based advocate. The complaint was backed by audio recordings, which prompted the swift intervention. And the records of the full court meeting of August 28th, which have been shared with the media, they reveal that the suspension of the district judge Sanjeev Kumar Singh and the decision to initiate proceedings against both Singh and another judge Anil Kumar was sparked by the complaints made before the High Court's Chief Justice, Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay. So what I'm trying to arrive is the fact that these are the stories which both these stories are disturbing in the sense that what's happening within the four walls of the judiciary, the truth lies somewhere else. And we shall speak about that truth. Joining me this evening is Supreme Court lawyer and activist Mehmood Pracha, who joins us on the program. Mehmood is privy to whatever is happening behind the four walls, and it's not a very, very ordinary thing on which the lawyers are probably planning to go on a strike. They are planning to protest. Mehmood, thank you so much for joining. How big is this letter which has been addressed to the Chief Justice of Delhi High Court that the bar associations are not taken into consideration when it comes to transfers or elevations? And is it true that it's just not the Delhi High Court, but across the country, transfers of the judges are happening randomly and the bars do not know about it?
Thank you, Neelu ji, for inviting me to this very important and very relevant subject, not just for safety of the judiciary, uh, independence of judiciary, but also since judiciary is one of the defenders of the constitution, rather the most important defender of the constitution and democracy of the country, it's a very relevant topic. Now, two, three very important issues have been raised by you in the beginning, and to address them, I need to take your viewers to the background and the events which have occurred in last few months in Delhi High Court and across the country in various other high courts. it all, if one time period can be uh, stated to be relevant in this context, it starts from Justice Yashwant Verma's case, where an inquiry was ordered by or directed to be conducted by none other than the Chief Justice of India. Inquiry was conducted, duly conducted by in the chairmanship of Justice Sheel Nagu, who is currently the Chief Justice of Punjab and Haryana High Court. That committee recommended the removal of Justice Yashwant Verma. Now, Justice Yashwant Verma comes, which is known to everybody in the legal circles, that he belongs to a group or a lobby of Mr. Justice Chandrachud, the former Chief Justice who recently retired. And his own case, the House case, where he overstayed, and the government of India was requested by the Registrar General of the Supreme Court to have him vacated. Then he got vacated and he got another type 8 residence in New Delhi. That is also being seen as a questionable act, if nothing else. Then his car issue, where he demanded, requested, or directed the Registrar General of the Supreme Court to request for a special number. In that context, what happened later on, Vice President of the country, his resignation is also connected with the removal or impeachment of Justice Verma. Such is the powerful lobby which is referred to as Justice Chandrachud's lobby. This is diagonally opposed to a second kind of group in the country, which is now in an absolute or rather extreme minority, which is referred to commonly amongst the lawyer community as the people who are identified as a group of just judge lawyer, honesty and integrity. Then this comes allegations about one judge, about 5,000 crores being recovered, or the allegations of recovery of 5,000 crores from a sitting judge of the Delhi High Court. There were rumors and proposals probably of the transfer of that judge also. You said in your opening remark that I am privy to all this, but I have inkling of all this. The better terminology to be used would be I have strong inkling and informations regarding all these things which happen. And I say whatever I say after
But Mehmood, what I want to understand from
much
you is how big,
thinking
Mehmood,
and
how
thought.
big is this? No, what I want to understand from you is that the letter has been addressed to the Chief Justice, that the bar associations are not taken into consideration. But how big is the resentment? Is it true that most of the lawyers are not happy, who are there as part of the bar association, who are not happy with the way things are happening? And are you all planning to protest against the judiciary, against the government, the manner in which the things are being dealt with?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Lawyers have been at the forefront during the freedom struggle also against the British, and they have been at the forefront whenever there is a big threat to the Constitution of India during emergency and during various other phases. So lawyers will definitely rise up to the occasion, and I can safely say that more than 99.9% lawyers of the country are concerned. They are concerned that why these kind of appointments, which can be referred to as not so much above board at various levels of the judiciary, including the Supreme Court. Recently, one of the judges who was appointed from Gujarat, who superseded about 57 judges, about more than 50 judges of various high courts, and he was appointed to Supreme Court judge, and now he will have a longish period as Chief Justice of India. Now, all these things without consultation of with the bar in any sense of the word, because that would act as a sieve to help the collegium appoint better people, make better choices. Why bar is neglected, it's anybody's guess, because something which is done in the four walls without any transparency, obviously there will be fingers raised and there will be logical fingers raised on these aspects.
No, but what
But I
are
was giving
various
you the background, which
examples?
is very important. Once again,
Right. No, I also want to understand through various examples. It's just not about Delhi High Court Bar Association, but across the country, what are the anomalies that you are witnessing, where the kind of judges which are being promoted, the kind of appointments which are
you know,
happening, kind of elevations which are taking place, and the bar doesn't know about it.
see why I was, you referred to one of the cases of Delhi subordinate judiciary, where two judges, one of them has been suspended and one of them has been transferred. Now the allegations are very grave, and one of the allegations in that report which you had shown is also that this lawyer who allegedly sexually exploited and raped his own junior, which is rather sickening if that's true. I'm not saying that if that's true only because there is no free and fair trial as of now. Otherwise, it's sickening to the core of anybody's heart. So, one of the allegations is also that this woman has said that this lawyer took her to a sitting judge of Delhi High Court. So, this is the kind of low level, I would say, that sickening and hateful, if that's, these are very mild words which I'm using. I think I should use stronger words. Behavior which is prevalent. And let me remind you of this: if 100 things like this happen, only 1 out of 100 gets exposed to in public domain. Now there is an example of there was an example of a special judge of Prevention of Corruption Act. His reader was caught taking bribe of 1 crore. There is an FIR against him. He was simply transferred. Then there is a case of Odisha High Court. There is a judge called Bibhu Prasad Rotre. The allegations against him and complaints against him are that his LLB degree was fake, like our Prime Minister. Fake degree is being alleged against him also, and he doesn't come out, and no action is being taken against him by either the
No,
police or the
how
election
come?
commission or nobody.
No,
Similarly,
this is so
this
shocking.
judge,
No,
honorable
allow
judge
me to
of
interrupt you.
Odisha High Court,
Allow,
no action
allow
has
me
been
to
taken till date.
Mehmood, just allow me to interrupt you. This particular judge you're talking about, that he doesn't have an LLB degree but is the judge of Odisha High Court. How many people know about this? Of course, this case is in the public domain. Even I remember having read about it. But has there been action against this particular judge, or he continues to remain a judge and nobody's going to do anything about it? And he doesn't even hold an LLB degree.
He continues. He continues. He continues. He holds, but that degree is forged. That is the allegation against him. Then there is another case. No, all I'm saying, very important to point out here is that these kind of things have to be nipped in the bud. Truth has to be brought out, and it has to be informed to public at large in very clear and categorical terms, so that even an iota of doubt should not be there in the minds of people, because everybody wants to have, now I am using this word very carefully, otherwise everybody used to have full faith in the judiciary. That is the terminology which was usually actually used. Now it is our duty to reinstill that faith, and these things, if they are left unresolved, they are going to the root of the judicial accountability, the trust people have in the judiciary. Then there is another case. I refer to Justice Sheel Nagu, the Honorable Chief Justice of Punjab and Haryana High Court case. He transferred one case to himself, sitting as Chief Justice, he, as Master of the Roster. One judgment was reserved by another bench, in which he got to know, the Honorable Chief Justice got to know Sheel Nagu Sahab, who was the chairman of the inquiry committee against Justice Verma also. He found out that, and he gave a reference to the Bar Council of Punjab and Haryana High Court, referring about 16 lawyers and 2 senior lawyers of bench hunting, alleging that making a complaint that these lawyers ensured that a big builder, whose name was also attached to a famous or infamous judgment of Delhi High Court, where there were allegations of corruption once again, about a very particular judge who gave that judgment. That same builder got his case transferred a number of times by a method which is very, very innovative, not so innovative for lawyer community because we know these things happen every day. But to common man, it will be very seem to be very innovative that you engage lawyers who are related to various judges. So if you don't want your case to be heard by a particular judge, you engage a lawyer who is relative of that judge. So obviously he will transfer. So this case got transferred by this using this method large number of times, and judgment was reserved. And then the Honorable Chief Justice found out, and he transferred this case to another bench. So if these things are happening, now let me come back to the grievance of the bar. And what is the bar? Now this also has to be carefully understood. Bar means general body of the bar, not elected representatives. Because if you consult only the elected representatives, and those elected representatives do not consult their general body, that is the wholesome and whole community of that bar association, lawyer community of that bar association, then it has got no meaning also. Again, now what is required to be done is that any transfer which takes place, any appointment which takes place, the honorable judges, the collegium should consult the bar association elected office bearers. They should then call for a general body, put those details before the general body, and take the opinion of the general body, and whatever is resolved in the general body, that should be conveyed by the office bearers to the collegium and the chief justices. If this method is not followed, then there will be always be chances and possibilities, rather strong possibilities of again manipulation, because the general members of the bar and the public would not trust the office bearers also. So therefore consultation and transparency is the key. Now let me take you to what could be the possible reasons of a transfer of a judge. Now transfer is permitted. Transfer is a norm under Article 222 of the Constitution of India, where the President of the country has got the power to transfer any judge from one high court to the other. So one cannot complain, because every judge who offers or accepts the offer of being appointed as a judge knows this as a fact, that he can be transferred or she can be transferred to any high courts of the country. It is good also in a way, because then there is transference of knowledge and experience gained at one day. It travels to the other set, and then there is cohesiveness also. People have this interlinked judicial system, which also brings in court. It also actually brings uniformity in the judgments which are being pronounced by various high courts, because there are so many conflicting judgments between various high courts. One method of reducing that conflict between the high courts could also be that various judges are transferred from one high court to the other very, very frequently. Now, another reason for transfer. Now, there could be 3-4 major reasons for transfer. One of them is some judges even request that we feel uncomfortable or we have some problem in one high court where they have some difficulty because of some personal problems or whatever. Or at times, judges also request that I don't want to be a judge in this high court because my relatives are also practicing here, and there could be semblance of doubts. Or this Justice Sheel Nagu's example, where relatives were used to get a case transferred from one judge. So a very, very serious reason of corruption, of immoral practices. And Delhi High Court, what whispers are there? Some people are also saying that we are going to, about this recent transfers to judges. Some people are saying that they are going to file RTIs to bring to collect the CCTV footage of gates of the High Court, even late night, and also inside the court to judges. So these kind of rumors lead to a inference, a strong inference, that there is some hanky-panky going on for that reason these transfers are happening. Now that's a very serious link to let it go without any action. So if all these transfers are being made effective without clarity about the reason, that reason was this, where he is going, and lawyer community is therefore extremely concerned that some of the allegations which are flying around even against some of the judges who are facing transfers. So that's a very serious allegation against our honorable elected members also.
No, but Pracha, one thing now, who's to be blamed if
So why
the
this
bar
all is
association?
happening? Because there is no if judges transferred to remove the possibility to
Right. No, what I'm wanting to ask you is that now who is to be blamed? Where does the buck stop? If the transfers and elevations are happening without considering the bar associations, like all institutions, bar itself is an institution in itself. And if that also has been sidestepped and it forms such an important component of judiciary, and if that is sidelined, that is not taken into consideration, so what is the solution? How do you handle a problem like this, and what is the guarantee that each time a transfer or an elevation is happening, the bars will be taken into consideration? Who's to be blamed for this? Where does the buck stop here?
see undisputedly, bar is the mother of the bench. Lawyer community is the mother of the judges community. It is undisputed. Transparency, on the other hand, is the sole guarantee of truthfulness, of honesty, of integrity. So if there is transparency, while this confusion is on, that what is the reason? Very, very strongly lay stress on this aspect. Not just the office bearers. That transparency, along with the relevant document, this sinister wrong which is creeping in very fast into the judicial system, in the judiciary, is not going to be corrected. Rather, it is going to be accentuated if only the office bearer are taken into confidence. So if this is done transparently,
No, but it
then I
also,
think there will be
right, but it
definite
also
answerability.
no, but Pracha, this also raises questions that, there is something rotten within the four walls of the court, within the four walls of the bar association. There is lack of transparency. There is much to hide. Isn't that the impression which goes out to the common man?
No, absolutely. Allow me to finish what I was saying because my thought process
Yes.
gets raised. If a transfer is done for the reasons of corruption or immorality or any of vices, the transfer actually is a big help or favor to that judge, because then there has to be a legal consequence, and that legal consequence will be in the form of strong action, in the form of criminal proceedings, and the removal of the judges by the parliament, and also resignation. That process is a must. If you just transferred a judge from one high court to the other, you are actually helping. And and actually creating more avenues for corruption and immorality. You are actually incentivizing, because this is the maximum which can happen to you. If you undertake some corruption, if you are a corrupt judge, if you are an immoral judge, if you have so many vices, if you have conducted yourself in a manner which is unbecoming of a judge, the maximum you will face is, or maximum problem you will face is, a transfer. What is this? That again shakes the very faith in the independence of judiciary, and the respect for judges goes. So that shows that you are saving by by saving them rather than punishing them. So law is not equal for judges. If they commit a crime, they will be saved by a transfer. So this is a very, very serious aspect. And now I will come to the question you asked, and the answer to that is that unless bar is taken into confidence and the general body of the bar, then only then these allegations of the face value and corruption in judiciary, and how the senior lawyers have been appointed as senior advocates, about 70 recently, and in last few months such a large number of controversies have erupted. The direct watch of the Supreme Court, because it is situated in the same city. If this is the condition, that's the worst part. In Delhi High Court, and Delhi High Court is just about a kilometer and a half from Supreme Court, and bar is the only safeguard, the general body of the bar, which can prevent all this and which can re-establish the honor and the trust which people used to have in judiciary. I think something serious that I would like to highlight, and I would also request public at large to understand, whenever lawyers actually ensuring that justice is delivered to the weakest against the strongest. It is only for those reasons lawyers go on strike. Rarely do lawyers go on a work strike for their own personal reasons. That evidence will be taken in remote places by videography in police stations. Police personnel will give their evidence to the court from remote, the very purpose of holding a free and fair trial. So lawyers went on strike. So what happened later on was that some of our leaders were given this assurance by Mr. Indirectly by Mr. Amit Shah. So on that day, about on last Friday, about 1 lakh lawyers were prepared to march to LG's office, and I am sure on that day itself, this notification, which is which will destroy any credibility which our criminal sensations got actually deceived by Mr. Amit Shah through one of the other ministers, Mr. Yadav. And there was a promise made that Mr. Amit Shah will listen to the bar members with an open mind. And he does not, we were trying to explain to our leaders of the bar, our honorable leaders of the bar, that Mr. Amit Shah cannot, he does not possess the capability of telling the truth. But since they are senior people, they cannot just brush aside personal experiences about Mr. Pracha and Mr. Modi. So we were trying to advise them, they didn't listen to us, and then they got deceived in this very, very unsavory manner. this provision has been implemented in various states already. They were conscious once again. So there will be a strike. Now this time, common lawyers will rise up to the occasion and give a call for strike. There will be a general body called by undertaking signature campaign. So that is what is happening, and that is the kind of seriousness which can be attached to hiding things from the bar, that is from the judicial, the lawyers community.
Right. No, that certainly is a very important aspect, what you have explained, and how things are happening within the bar associations. What is the equation between the bar and the judiciary? I'm glad that you spoke about this issue. But one last question before I wind up the interview, Mehmood, that what are we going to see now in the coming days? Since this is a nationwide problem where the bar associations are sidelined, they are not taken into consideration. So, are we going to see streams of lawyers protesting against the judiciary, protesting against the government? What is it going to manifest into? Can you hear me, Mehmood? Yes.
Without any doubt, yes, I can. I've heard your question. Without any doubt, there will be massive protest and a campaign across the country. The judiciary used to possess. We, the lawyer community, find it our duty to rise up to the occasion and ensure that the weakest of our countries, citizens, get justice as strong, even statutory authorities against highest government officials. That lawyer community is going to ensure, because lawyer community, bar is the mother of bench. So we will definitely, lawyer community will definitely share protest by lawyers community, not only in Delhi but across the country, wherever there is a threat which faces citizens of this country, at the like industries who are today, who have actually got a iron hold over the entire country, the entire the entire economy of the country. Community, their illegalities, their illegal actions will be stopped by the lawyer community. Therefore, I also request the common masses of our country, common citizens, that please do not misunderstand the lawyer community when they strike work, because there are Supreme Court which make this strike, work strike, absolutely illegal. We take those risks to save the common people, because lawyers will get fees, police stations, lawyers will still get their fees, but the clients will not get justice. Innocent people will be incarcerated. So therefore, we are fighting for common common people, citizens should also support lawyers, but also visiting common clients. So bear with us. It is only for them, the common citizens, that we strike work at great risk to ourselves also. But we are duty bound and we will rise to the occasion. That is a promise I can make to common masses of this country on behalf of the lawyer community.
Absolutely. Okay, so we'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Mehmood Pracha, for joining on HW. Thank you.